Hello, hello. If you can hear me, raise your hand and clap. If you can hear me, raise your hand and clap. That would be good. I don't remember much before I was born, but I remember after I was born, Mom and Dad, Gus and Helen, brought me into this world on a cold, snowy day in November. Sounds like lyrics for a song, doesn't it? I didn't have to walk home from the hospital. They drove me home.
What day were you born?
11/12/1947.
Just one thing I've been wishing for. I wanna be Bobby's girl. I wanna be Bobby's girl. That's the most important thing to me.
The love story of Bobby and Peggy began in 1962 in the halls of Holdridge High School. He made me laugh, and I loved that about him. We dated steadily all through high school, and in the fall of '66, after graduation, Bob received an invitation to join the fun in Uncle Sam's Army. Being two very mature 19-year-olds, we decided to get married before Bob left for a tour of duty in Vietnam. After all, the Army offered $167 more a month if we were married, and who could pass that up? Bob returned from Vietnam, and life was a bit rocky for a while. We weathered the storms, and then in 1970, a bundle of joy named Tony entered our lives, and everything changed. Bob loved being a dad and loved having a son by his side. 7 years later, a cute little blonde named Sarah came along, and we were a busy family. Bob loved being involved in their lives, their sports, and all the activities. Bob served on the school board. He coached the baseball team and the softball team. He even helped lead the girls' softball team to a state championship. Bob served as the police chaplain and led a ministry that helped teens for 18 years. One time we figured out that Bob had had 35 jobs in his life: running a drag line at 14, sacking groceries, driving a cement truck, working at the airport, counting bolts and nuts at the local lumber yard, and driving a milk truck. He was well-rounded. His passion was helping and serving and caring, and he did it well. After moving to Colorado, he really expanded his love of the mountains and hiking and biking and snowshoeing and all the outdoor activities. Overall, life has been good for 55 years, and we are grateful that we found Jesus together.
Dad was a dedicated person at helping others. Dad Dad found his calling when he took over campus life. Director for years, he dedicated his life helping others. Chaplain for the Holders Police Department as well, which was good and bad, because if I got pulled over, he knew about it right away. No getting out of that situation. Dad and I had our problems for many years. And thinking back, it was me not wanting to listen to the great advice that he always gave me. Being angry for so many years, and the wedge I put between us took away a lot of years between us. It wasn't until about 6 years ago we made our peace, and it's not enough years yet. Life is too short. We were just getting to know each other better. I will miss him dearly. Our daily talks about renovations on the house, or the times when we tried to grow grass in our yard, which decided it just grows weeds. Dad was a man of integrity in everything he did. Many nights I wondered how he ended up with brain tumor. Dad was an exercising nut, riding his bike every day to go into the gym. Being healthy was his main goal. Can't wait till the day we meet up and continue where we left off, having received another godly man.
What happened? That was my dad's favorite phrase. He said it any time he walked into a room. Sometimes we thought it was funny, and sometimes we did not. He said it so much that we always joked that we were going to put that phrase on his tombstone. Well, Dad, let me tell you what happened. What happened was, you came into this world an ornery but friendly boy that was mischievous and funny. What happened was, you got the girl, Bobby's girl, and started a family with her. What happened was, you served your country well and saw and did things that no one should ever see or do. What happened was, you were a dad who was active and involved in our lives, from coaching to mentoring to matters of the heart. You were there. What happened was, you were a grandpa that loved spending time with your grandchildren and poured into their lives every chance you got. What happened was, you shared the gospel and impacted countless lives because of your love for Christ. So what happened, Dad, was you. You happened, and we all are better because of it. I will love you forever, my sweet Dad.
Bob has been an encourager and a faithful friend and great brother to me, and I've never seen anybody with the sense of humor that this guy has as he is fighting this crazy thing called brain cancer. And I know that when he passes, he's going to be in a much better place, because that is the promise. It will leave a big hole in my heart, and I will cherish the time that we get together again in the presence of Jesus.
memories that I have began in a bedroom that we all three slept in together. And the stories that I could tell about that, I think would be fairly interesting. But the one that I remember the most is when the three of us were in there and we would be talking and laughing and throwing socks and stuff at each other. Then Dad was sleeping in the basement, and it was noisy for him. So he'd come up and he'd open the bedroom door and say, "Don't you make another peep." And so then he would close the door and go back downstairs, and we thought we'd given him enough time. And so then one of us, I think it was Bob, would say "peep" in rebellion. And then one night Dad left the door partway open. We didn't notice that, and he was on us in a flash. He had this old foam rubber slipper that he'd take and start wailing on us with covers over us, and Bob was always the first one to get it. So deservingly so, being the oldest of the brothers, he was first in line, but I always appreciated that he did that, because by the time Dad got to me, it wasn't quite as bad.
I have only been a part of the Johnston family for about 13 years. Bill and I made a trip to Fort Collins and went directly to Bob's work. Bob and Peg watched the same stupid show that Bill and I watched, Desperate Housewives. I know, no judgment, please. We told the receptionist to let Bob know that the couple from Desperate Housewives was here for their counseling session. We heard his laugh as he came down the stairs. Bob came directly to me and gave me a big hug that will be etched in my heart forever. Bob was nothing short of being another brother to me. Bob and Peggy, Bill and I have taken many great adventures together, but our greatest adventure will be meeting in heaven together. When I said my final goodbye to Bob, I thanked him for the influence that he had in my life. I thanked him for allowing me to be a part of his family, and I thanked him for having a great middle brother for whom I married. Even on his deathbed, Bob still had his humor and said to me, "You know, you can still back out." I love you, Bob, and until we meet again, I will always have a special place in my heart for you.
I married into the Johnston family about 40 years ago. It has been such a privilege for me to know Bob, to watch God at work in Bob's life, and to spend hours and hours and weeks together on little getaways. Being married to one of the Johnston boys is an adventure, and being together as three couples and watching the three of them laugh and laugh and laugh till they cried, sometimes having no idea what they were laughing about, other times just joining into the laughter because they are all three so funny. So even in these last days of Bob's life, what fun that we've had as we've listened to his sense of humor in the process of dying, and to hear the hope that he has of being with Christ for all of eternity.
This is Sherry, Peg's little sister, and Bob has been part of my life for as long as I can remember, really. From the first time I really noticed that he was going to be part of my life is when I was a candle lighter in their wedding at 10 years old. And then, there's just so many memories of a life well lived, so many different things that we have done together, from all the fun things at the lake, of course, playing charades with Dan and Susie and their family, to when Dad finally turned the keys of the boat over to Bob, so Dad didn't have to be in the boat all the time, all day long, pulling skiers, and that was a real boon for Dad. To when Peg and Bob finally moved out to Colorado, and enjoyed their time here with their family. Bob will be missed. He's just been there in my life.
Bob Johnston was the wealthiest man I've ever known. Not in the traditional sense, since his currency was love, and that is more priceless than any gold. And he had an abundance of it and was willing to give it freely, no matter what. I knew Bob for almost 30 years when I started dating my eventual bride, his daughter Sarah. I began to see this love in the way he gave it to Peg, Sarah, Tony, and eventually his grandchildren. While with regular wealth, most people would hold on to it and save it, but Bob gave his wealth of love willingly and freely. When he was diagnosed with cancer, I began to truly see how he spent his wealth of love, and it paid dividends in the countless number of people he has impacted over his time here. The number of people he has led to Christ through giving his love is amazing. The number of people I've seen reach out for support is astonishing, and I can only wish to be as wealthy as he was. Bob, I'm so proud to know a man that gave his love away the way that you did. You've worked hard, and you deserve the rest. I'll miss you.
I came into this family not knowing what I'd find. I was nervous and afraid. You gently eased my mind. You made me feel right at home with me and my boys from the first day that we've met. You welcomed me with open arms. You've always were there to encourage me and Tony and to tell us to work together as a team. I knew I could depend on you on any given day. If we needed any help around the house, you would be there to help us. You're a great father-in-law. You stand out above the finest. I thank God for blessing me that I got to know the very best father-in-law to be. We'll miss you, Bob.
I remember back in '92, he was holding me in a rocking chair. I remember that's the day I would have been gone, but I lived. And I remember some of his golf shows that he likes to watch, and the swimming pools, and also remember some Taffy and Holdridge, and my friend I always hang out with too, and all fun stuff in Holdridge.
I'm so glad to have had Grandpa Bob in my life. When I think of him, I think of how encouraging he was to me personally, our family as a whole, and everyone he met. Be encouraged was something that he said often, and that phrase really stuck with me through the years. He said this to just about anyone in any circumstance. For me, when he told me to be encouraged when things were going well, it reminded me to be thankful and appreciate the highs of life. When he told me to be encouraged in the hard times, it reminded me that there's hope for the future and that there's a purpose to the lows in life. I'll miss Grandpa Bob's encouragement. I'll miss his goofy jokes and his aggressively affectionate hugs, but I'm also encouraged by the life he lived and excited for the day I get to see him again.
What I think of when I think about Bob is how he shows his love to Peg. He is always holding her hand and they always find ways to laugh together, even in the good times and the bad times. You can tell that they have always been a team. They have and will continue to be a really good example to Grady and I of what a marriage should look like.
Feed the white dog. That's what my grandpa would always say to me. He always wanted me to look at the light inside of me instead of the darkness. But what he didn't know is that on my darkest days, he brought light to them. He didn't care about my mistakes or my embarrassing moments. And I could go to him in trouble or heartbroken, and he wouldn't care, because I was his granddaughter. He loved me for me. That's it, plain and simple. He would tell me feed the white dog because he wanted me to be a good person, a person that met others with empathy and love. He wanted me to always be joyous and full of life. But the thing is, if I didn't have the endless love he showed me, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. I don't think I would be able to show myself love and grace if he didn't countless times before. Thank you for loving me so much when I couldn't love myself. Thank you for always bringing light to my darkest days. You saved my life more times than you will ever know. I love you so much, Grandpa.
I enjoyed the moments that I had with you, and I love you, Grandpa.
Bob was a person that really wanted to be around people, and he will be very missed.
One of my favorite memories with Bob was when we were all at the pool and he had me on his shoulders and I jumped off his shoulders into the water.
Grandpa Bob was a really good person and he really cared about everybody and he was just nice to be around and he always was fun when we went swimming.
I love you, Papa. Last week we were presented with a rather large lemon in the side of my head, and true to form, all of you performed admirably and made something sweet out of this lemon. We're leaving here with kind of an uncertain future, but we're very positive in the care that we're getting. And again, I can't thank you enough for the positive sweetness that you squeezed into this lemonade. We thank you.
It's okay.
We thank you.
Okay, done?
Yep.
What will it be like when my pain is gone and all the worries of this world just fade away? What will it be like when you call my name in that moment when I see you face to face? I'm waiting my whole life to hear you say, well done, my good and faithful one. Welcome to the place where you belong. Well done, my beloved child. You have run the race and now you're home. Welcome to the place where you belong. What will it be like when tears are washed away and every broken thing will finally be made whole? What will it be like when I come into your glory, standing in the presence of a love so beautiful? I'm waiting my whole life for that day. I will live my life to hear you say, well done, my good and faithful one. Welcome to the place where you belong. Well done, my beloved child. You have run the race and now you're home. Welcome to the place where you belong. What will it be like when I hear that sound? All of heaven's angels crying out, singing holy, holy, holy are you, Lord. Singing holy, holy, holy are you, Lord. Singing holy, holy are you, Lord. Waiting my whole life for that day. Until then I'll live to hear you say,
Well, friends and family, this isn't exactly the way I would have planned my graduation, but unlike school, I studied hard, and now I know what the end results are going to be.
well